welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj, and today we have Anton Volney with us. Anton, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, for the people who don't know, can you tell them like who you are and what you do?
Right. So I'm the publisher of a newsletter called Permission to Be Powerful, and that's what I do now. I spent prior to this is a new venture, so I've only been doing it since early this year. I spent the last 15 years as a freelance copywriter, and just so everybody in the audience understands what that means. Basically, I've been telling people a copywriter is basically like a poet who specializes in writing ads, right? So that's like my job was to ghostwrite for people like Tony Robbins, Neil Patel, Ramit Sethi. And yeah, that's what I did for 15 years. I worked for some of the smartest marketers on earth, and I came out with a very unique skill set in the end.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, few of our listeners are also, freelance copywriter too. So, I know they would be asking, like, how can they also get to work with those kind of people?
Let's see, where shall I start?
Whatever comes in your mind.
I have a wide range of thoughts and feelings, and the answer to that question depends on the person actually. So for example, right now at the end, me being at the end of a 15-year career, I'm at a stage personally where I no longer want to freelance, and it feels absolutely like the correct thing. So if you asked me to answer the question to someone like me, I'd be like, or even not even like me, but just like I'm very biased towards saying, like, I have a lot of criticisms about freelancing as a whole, but I don't think it's like I wouldn't say don't freelance. I would say freelancing is a great starter business. It's a great business to start when you have no experience and you have no leverage and you have no assets, and you need to get your foot in the door somehow, right? But there's a lot of, like, I just don't think it's a career to stay in past a certain point. Why? Because there's way better business models out there, like way better, like way better. Like, it's not to say don't do it. It could be that that's what you should do. And I couldn't be in this position here where I'm doing my newsletter without having had all that experience first. So I'm not going to be like, there's no point to it, it's terrible. None of that. I made 6 figures as a freelance copywriter. That's very rare. You know what I'm saying? And the lifestyle of being a freelance copywriter, it has a lot of perks. It has a lot of drawbacks, but it also has perks, right? Like, I worked from the St. Lucia in the Caribbean for 5 years. I hadn't set foot on US soil like in the whole time, but I'm closing New York Times best-selling authors, right? Like, that's awesome, right? Like,
Yeah.
but the thing about it is, I stayed as a freelancer for a long time, not because I had to be a freelancer, but because this is like, it took me like over a decade to figure this out. Okay, so it's like my brain going into freelancing was already perfectly like set up to like, it fit. It was comfortable in the position of freelancing. And what position is that? A position where you don't have much power, you don't have much control, you don't have much of a say. And again, I'm not saying don't do freelancing. Part of the reason I'm in this position today is because I was willing to stick with it long past most people would be willing to do it. I'm just telling you up front that everybody, you go online and everybody's going to fill your ears with a lot of biased information about money making, business creating, and freelancing like as a whole. So if you look at freelancing, they're going to sell you the upside on any website about freelancing that's trying to sell you anything, right? I'm not saying don't do freelancing. I'm saying that in the year of our Lord 2025, like, build an audience. Start as a freelancer, but you got to get to the point where you have your own audience and you control your own customers. The reason why I'm no longer doing freelancing is because I want customers, not clients. See what I'm saying? Big difference.
Yeah.
But how do you get the clients? So now that's a valid question, because I have a skill set that if I didn't spend so many years doing it, I would have never had the skill set. I couldn't do what I'm doing now without having done something else. So how do you get the clients? Okay, well, Now, the thing about business in general, let me take a quick water break real quick.
Yes, sure.
The thing about business in general is, what was I going to say? I'm not sure what I was going to say, but I'll just take it a different direction. It'll probably come back to me. Happens all the time.
Yeah,
So
no
like,
problem.
yes. So like in as a freelancer, like, you know what? Like, I started off on Upwork. Okay, back when it was Elance, that long ago. Okay, and so like I was charging nothing. Like, oh, and now I remember what I was gonna say. So like basically in business in general, basically a lot of the times we are very instant gratification oriented in our brains. And because we are very instant gratification in our brains, we only tend to look for gimmicks, quick fix, magic bullet, like technique. And so this is the first question you're gonna ask me is how to get the clients. And that's what everybody wants to know, right? But it's never
Yeah.
that. That's not even the right question to ask, really. Because the reality is, Tony Robbins found me. How did he find me? Well, I left a breadcrumb trail of excellence and led me to him. Like I had a previous client who got in with Tony Robbins, and she recruited me. She actually took 3 attempts to get me to get me to agree to work with them. And that's the other thing. It's like as a freelancer, this is like some weird law of the universe. I don't understand why, but it's like the more I hate you, the more you want to give me money. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like I'm kidding. I don't really mean that, but like what I mean is that like it's like the more I want you to approve of me, the less you want to approve of me. That's just human nature, right?
Yeah.
So by the time I got to Tony Robbins' doorstep, I understood this about people where it's like I'm never eager to get hired. I'm
Hmm.
never eager to get hired because I'm thinking about all the trouble these motherfuckers are gonna come and give me. What like because they're all like it's not them actually. It's me in relation to them as a freelancer. So if I was like an investor, I'd think completely different thing about them, right? But like
Hmm.
as a freelancing as a whole business concept is in this economy, in this world we live in, late stage capitalism, you're not set up to win. You're actually set up to lose many times over. And there's a lot of traps you can fall into as a freelancer. One of the things is like everybody knows company culture. Well, company culture is also a company mythology. Like sometimes the ideas that you believe in the company and that you are taught to believe in the company aren't actually real. And but they keep you in working hard and not asking for much, right? Like it's like I just woke up, like when you wake up and realize, oh, this is how the game is played. Like exploitation is the name of the game.
Hmm.
You can get out of that, and you can get to the point where you are like leveraged, right? Like there was a point where my freelancing business was, doing, 6 figure whatever. And like I had all sorts of freedom, and I was even I had 2 clients, and one just wanted me to just write one 8-line email a day, and he was paying me like $1,000 retainer for that. One 8-line email. But that's you see is because my skills were such that the email had to be incredible, right? Every day,
Exactly.
right? So like a lot of the failure that comes with freelancing is actually not because of strategy or intelligence, but actually because of self-worth and self-esteem. Because you're constantly in this place where you want more money than you think you deserve. Like you want more money. The first time I asked for $1,000, that felt like I was robbing them. Then I doubled it. Then I doubled it to $2,000, and that felt even worse. Like it felt like like how dare I, you know? And it's like
Okay, okay. Like I'm curious to know, like, when you said like money, like, don't you ask them like the work you do, how much profit they are generating?
come again.
Like, when you said you talk about money with the clients you're working with, don't you ask like how much money you are making them when you write copy for them?
Yes, but again, the rules are different, and there's a lot of gatekeepers depending on who you're talking to, right?
Oh, okay.
So again, like you might find yourself, at least I found myself a lot of the times in situations where I didn't have all the cards. I couldn't call all the shots, and things were just how they were, and I just had to accept that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But again, I do not regret my career at all. I actually look back and I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe that I did that. Like I got all the way to Agora, and Agora's like Harvard for like direct response. They're like
Yeah,
the best.
yeah.
And it's like, so now I like can think, and I'm like, I know exactly, well, not exactly, but like I can put myself in Neil Patel's shoes or Tony Robbins' shoes. Like I know so many like niche little things about these various people. Like it's like incredible because I have this incredible vantage point. But freelancing, it's a like I said, it's a great starter business. But if you think about it from just like a business model perspective, there's much more to be desired. Like in this day and age, you have to have control over your clients. And that means you need an audience. That means you need a list. End of story. End of story. It doesn't really
Exactly.
matter. It doesn't matter what line of business you're in because then you're like, how do I get clients? And then they want me to turn around and answer the question, how do I get clients? And I'm like, and they're thinking I'm gonna say something like bada bing, bada boom. Look, is all you gotta do is direct message them and blah blah. Like it's like no, it's like direct messaging people is like kryptonite. It's like nothing will make people hate you more. Like for every client you close, you will alienate 50, right? Like
Mm,
you have to be thinking always like I'm an expert. Like, okay, so like let's say you want to do freelancing, you don't want to do freelancing, regardless of the case, you are an expert, you are a thought leader, you are and you are bringing your unique voice and perspective into the world, regardless of what your business model is, whether you want to do client work or whatever, right? You need to be thinking always about how to raise your positioning in people's eyes. Always. Like that plus when people work with me, you want to know how I truly like the real reason I got hired by Tony Robbins is this. After a decade of being in the game, I got great at my job. Not just the writing part, but also the people part. I know how to treat people a certain way so that they believe that I deserve thousands of dollars. It's
mm.
like sometimes people show up and it's like they're not ready for business. They're acting like, they're acting like this is high school or something and like they should be served up some sort of like it should be easy, right? Okay, so it's so funny. I'm just realizing every time I take a sip, I forget what I was saying. This is like I just figured it out. Okay, so yeah, you want to be a thought leader regardless. That's what you need to be thinking about, and you want to be prolific. And so I had my ex-wife while we were together. I watched her build a romance novel, a six-figure romance novel publishing business. So she has published hundreds of romance novels on the internet. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, like I think publishing business is one of the hardest kind of business, according to me, because you have to keep the membership, right?
Well, actually, it's really open-ended. You really get to make the rules, and like uh, you could charge whatever you want. You could charge however you want. I actually think that in terms of quote unquote publishing, it's kind of like a open, like you could like. I don't think there's a set way to do anything.
Okay. But your website, I really like it. Like it's a pure direct response website. Yes. When I checked it, it was like, okay, so it's an open page. Then I get a pop-up. Then below there is another open page option, like in the bottom. So it's really good. So can you tell me like why should everyone should have that kind of website?
My website.
Yeah, why everyone? I mean, for people who want to grow their A list, why they
Yeah,
should have that kind of website?
that's a great question. That's a great question. So, I I was at the top of my career last summer, writing to millions of people, making Tony Robbins millions of dollars with my words, and unexpectedly things went sideways, and I was no longer working with them. And that got me really thinking, yo, this is the last time I let a client screw me over. Like the last time, and that's kind of what got me saying like not just that, like everybody has to keep in mind if you're talking about freelancing in 2025, understand something. AI is screwing up everybody. So like y'all, like it's like even if you're thinking along the lines of freelancing, you have to factor AI into your strategy because AI is good. This is what AI is going to do. It's going to do this. It's gonna come. Like as far as I'm concerned, I'm patient zero. Like I was just like the first one to lose his job because of AI. Because by the time I lost my job, I was like, yo, I don't even want to bother try to get another one because by the time I get hired, like, it's like I could see AI changing the game right in front of me. Somebody came to me just last week for the first time ever. He's like, I only want AI. I don't want you to write it. And the reason why is because he wants to charge a fraction of what I would normally charge. So it's like you have to know this. Like AI is like this unbeatable competitor that you're fighting against, and you have to factor that in.
But you know what? Like, suppose someone can get an AI to write the copy, but the person who is going to, send the email, they should know what a really good copy looks like. If they don't know a really good copy looks like, then they're going to use a bad copy.
Yes, yes, you're
They're
right.
going to screw their business.
There's a lot of hype around AI, so like people have
Yeah.
the perceived value is high, and there's merits to it because it is so efficient. But at the same time, you're right. Like for any kind of high level work, AI is just not up to snuff. Is not up to snuff yet. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, and I've actually trained probably in my view the best AI copywriter in
Hmm.
existence, and it's good. It's better than a lot of people, but I know
Hmm.
what the strengths and weaknesses of it lie.
Yeah, exactly. Like you are a really good copywriter, okay? So you can decide, but a normal person who need a copywriter who needs copy, cannot able to decide is that a good or a bad copy.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You know,
And yes, Sid, go ahead.
I was gonna say you were asking me the first question you asked me is how do I get the client, right? And I talked about that at length, but to be honest, I would actually say the question to answer first is where's the market at? Like you want you don't want to be building a business for 5 years ago. See what I'm saying? Where you want to be building a business for 5 years from now, right? And so again, not saying not to freelance. I'm saying that like if your worldview is looking at this from an outdated perspective, then you're gonna go build a business that's obsolete from the jump.
Of
So I'm
course,
saying,
yeah.
and so you don't want to do that. You want to. I think people need to be looking at the markets and asking like this is so funny because this is a lesson that most copywriters don't know, even though every copywriter should know this, which is just like your number one job as a copywriter is to keep your finger on the pulse of the market. That's your number one job. Like if you don't do that, then everything after that will fail because you don't know what they really feel, right? And you don't know what is currently exciting them. And so everybody's like a lot of copywriters are out there like, oh, copywriting is dead. It's not dead, bitch. It's not dead. It's just that you don't understand the most basic fundamental copy principle, which is that like you are creating a business for yesterday instead of tomorrow. And so I looked at the situation with AI and also having just lost one of my clients, and I said, you know what? I don't think there's anywhere to go with freelancing after Tony Robbins, so I'm just gonna like let it end on a high. And also in 2025, you gotta own your customers. You can't just depend on other people for customers because if you do, you'll always be at their mercy. It's gonna be a vicious cycle forever. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's the key. Listen, I'm not saying don't freelance. Like for example, I have instead of offering freelance copywriting services, I figured out how to train ChatGPT really well. And so one of the services I'm going to offer that I'm not even going to do myself. I'm going to make my assistant work. I'm going to sell a service of training ChatGPT to be like a high level copywriter, and that's a high end service I'm going to deliver, right? So that is freelancing in a way. It's more like agency because it's somebody else, but that's
Yeah,
even
yeah.
better. It's even better. Who
Of
wants to
course.
do all the work, right? Like, right? So, like, the whole point is like, instead of worrying about where to get clients, you got to be thinking, where's the market and how do I get ahead of the curve? Because, like, if you're worrying about how to get clients and you're thinking about cold calling or whatever the fuck in like 2025, like you're done. You're done. Just forget about it. Just forget about it. You got like I've been messing with AI. I don't know if you've been messing with AI, but it's like the amount of shit that can now be done with AI, it's like if you're not even thinking along these lines, just forget about it, bro. Like just forget about it. Like it's like everybody's accelerating and you're slowing down. Like what is this? Like you're not gonna make it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like so many of my listeners are, business coaches and consultants. So what do you think? How can they grow their email list? What are the few years? that you would recommend?
Great question. Okay, so with permission to be powerful, I do have a Facebook ad guy, and we are starting some top of funnel ads and playing with it slowly. But I actually told myself there's a lot of philosophy behind what I do, a lot of principles. So like going into it, I'm like, I conceptually understand Facebook ads, but I hate it with a passion. Why? Because it's gambling, baby. It's just like set your money on fire. Every time you open the damn thing, it changes. Nobody understands what's going on inside of Facebook ads. And it's just so miserable. So I said, you know what? I'm not touching Facebook ads yet. So hard rule against Facebook ads yet. And we're actually starting Facebook ads now. But up until this moment, I said, look, you know what? I'm going to only focus on organic growth strategies because at least that way, first of all, I understand organic growth. Second of all, once you get that lead, they're yours and it was somewhat free. You could get them for cheap. So like for me, one of the things that really changed the game for me, like most people, they create like a Substack, right? It's incredible how sheep-like people are. And I mean that, I don't mean to diss anyone in particular. I'm just like, something I noticed on Substack is like you start your Substack and everybody wants to grow their Substack on Substack. And so everybody's begging you to read their email or read their blog posts or whatever. And the reality is, it's like, if you turn it around, like if you turn the whole dynamic around and instead of trying to push your email on people, you invite people, those same people, to share their stuff with you, all of a sudden, all of my notes on Substack are going crazy, right? Isn't that crazy? Like think about it. This is getting into someone. This is the power getting into someone's head. Okay, if 1 million people all have a bullshit blog that's like 10 followers, and they're all thinking, I gotta share my link on internet to get people to read it, and you show up and you're like, hey, share your content with me, and then like boom, like the thing blows up because that's what everybody wants on Substack. You understand? It's like tapping into what. But sorry, what were you gonna say?
Giving people what they want.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And the thing is, everybody's thinking from their perspective. They're trying to push their blog posts on other people, but like they can't see, because you can't see that you're doing something that nobody wants. People want to be heard and seen. Step one, heard and seen. And that's actually one of the things that makes my writing special, is that I know how to make you feel seen in my writing. So you will feel like, oh wow, I get this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But you were asking like, okay, how to grow. Here's some, if we zero in on just the organic stuff I'm doing right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My ex-wife, I actually am modeling a lot of my business off of hers because I watched her build a six-figure romance business and a list of over 10,000 people right in front of me using a lot of these strategies.
Yeah.
So, what I can say is this: every single time, like I'll go in and I'll join like the author community and I'll start building my lists in the way authors do, and then I'll go. Yes, so there's like this is a concept I really want people to grab, right? Like it's like the internet is bigger than you think. The internet, like think about the internet like it's space, okay? It's like, and you're on Earth in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like here, and like all you can see is like your neighborhood. There's like, you know what I'm saying? So like every single time I start feeling like I've tried everything, I said, no, there's more. No, there's more. The internet is bigger than I think. No, there's more. So the first thing I tried was a lot of book promotions with authors. And there's like dozens of websites where you could build your list with just like going and promoting a lead magnet there.
Okay. Can you give some examples?
Yeah. Book funnels, the biggest one that I'm using right now, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And I've got
Okay.
another good one that like probably the other one that's probably the best one that I've gotten results with is authorxp.com. So authorxp sent me a zip file of 500 subscribers 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, there's proven ways to build your list on the internet. You just don't know what they are. So you gotta
Okay.
go.
So I have a question. So how did that happen? Like, you write a book, and then you use that platform, okay? And the people who subscribe for to get your book, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Like there's places on the internet where people already have figured out how to efficiently collect emails organically. And that's not just through the author community, although that's a great one. The one that
Mm-hmm.
like My ex-wife built an entire list of and a six-figure romance publishing business, using those main strategies. So that's where I started. But then I tried, and I'm continuing to try a bunch of different things. Another thing is simply, if you see all the pop-ups on my website, that's me trying to collect emails, because it's like, um, people are coming to my website and 99.9% of them leave and never come back, right? So if I can get even 1% of them to join my list, and I'm getting probably about 30,000 views per month on the website, right? So like, again, 1% of that is what 300, 3,000. I don't even know how much that is, but it's a lot. It's enough. It's worth going
Yeah,
after.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So my mind is like, if I have to come up with like 10 different ways to grow my list, I don't want any experimental shit that's gonna take all my time but no guarantee of return. I have been messing with giveaways, and that's been redonkulously good in terms of list building. Like, the thing about, again, Substack, you get on Substack, and 99% of people, they all think hoping and praying is what's gonna work, or SEO, or doing lots of tweets. And it's like, no, there's an unlimited number of ways you can build your list. And like, every single time you think you've tried everything, I'm like, no, there's another way. I'll send ChatGPT in to deep search the internet to find me ways to grow my list, because I'm just like, and it was only until I found like the fifth or the sixth one that I actually doubled my list size in last month. From some of my list was only was is just like 6,200 people right now, so it's not like huge. Um, 3,500 people, just, like, I'm figuring it out. Like, and also at every level that I get, I have more business infrastructure to keep going. So like, a lot of business is building up momentum, and now that I have a website that's getting 1,000 people a day on it, like, I have a lot more leverage than I did when I had absolutely nothing, right? So
Okay, by the way, what I'm doing, it's like a little bit similar, but not the same. Like, I'm interviewing like people who have similar kind of audience and make the interview like valuable. Then I will convert it in a book, and we will do a book launch, and we will like share all the subscribers. So you can do similar thing, but because it will going to work like really well.
yes, I like what you said. Like, that reminds me of something that one of my big business principles is be everywhere. Be absolutely everywhere. So it's like, and with my blog, my blog, one blog post will become a podcast on every channel. It'll be on YouTube. I have like 20 different places one blog post will get syndicated to automatically, right? Like, and you give people that feeling like wherever they're at, you're at. It's
Yeah.
very, like, it's a very powerful psychological tactic.
Yeah, yeah, yes, exactly. I think it is the same thing. Why, like Apple and Coca-Cola still run ads? Like because people forget they have to keep watching you.
Yes.
By the way, like, what do you think when someone do research? Like, how much research is necessary?
For what?
Like, someone is going to write a copy. Like, what do you think? How much research is enough?
I would say that when it comes to writing copy,
Yeah,
enough the research is usually comes down to how well you know your customer. If you look at your customer as more like a relationship, right? Like a romantic relationship or something, like a family relationship. Like, I am going through this period right now where I'm dating my list a little, right? Like, building trust with a list, in my view, is
mhm.
way harder. It's like way harder than you think, right? Like, people are very slow. Like, it's like, in my mind, probably 6 months or more, in my mind, to like truly get someone to a point where they just want what you got, and like, they're just like a hard convert, right? Like, you need time to get someone. Just the passage of time alone of consistent contact is going to give someone that level of trust. So right now, I'm looking at my list like it's not mature. It's still just a baby, and it's gonna take probably another 6 months to a year, in my view, to get it to the point where I can start asking for big sums of money, right? Like, and like, expect that these people would trust me enough to say yes, right? So,
What do you think? Like, what is the most common mistake you have seen like business owners are making when it comes to marketing and copywriting?
biggest mistake. What's the biggest one? I'm gonna think this one through because there are so many.
Take your time.
I think the biggest mistake I see people making is ultimately being self-focused versus customer-focused. So,
Yes.
and it's like,
Okay, anyways, like, what do you think? Like, you run a lot, okay? That's all the, trophies behind that, behind you. We can say that. So, does that help you anyway in marketing?
yeah, of course. You know, when I was working with Tony Robbins, Monday, my most important thing to do on Monday would be my long run. Why? Like, I read a book, I forget what it's called, but Oprah is in it. Oprah wrote a book with a doctor or something like that. And it was about trauma. What happened to you? That's what it's called. And they talked about how basically, like, without self-regulation, even the most basic therapy doesn't work. Medication doesn't work. Nothing works. Like, self-regulation is the first step to healing yourself. Like, so basically what they're saying is, let's say you had a control group of people and you treated them with the same therapy, except one group got to exercise before therapy and one group didn't exercise at all. This group would do better for sure. Because it's like, that's you like getting your biology reset, like, and getting your biology working with you, not against you. Right? So you think about someone like Tony Robbins, like, I'm writing to millions of people. It took me like months to just like, for it to sink in how many people have read this thing. Like, wow, like, cause my brain never computed millions like that before, right? Like, and that puts me in a position, or used to put me in a position, where there's a lot of pressure on me, because these people are expecting me to say something good, right? And they want to make the money, right? And like, so that's a lot of pressure. So I very much view my running as this very critical piece to my self-care and business in general. And I think it's more important than pretty much anything I could do at my desk, really. Yeah. Like, it's like training for your mind. Like, you're training your body, but the same training is happening to your mind, because it's like that physical endurance like strengthens your mind, and you can take that mental strength and use it in this other context where, things like stress and high stakes and that type of thing can really affect one's performance.
Yeah. Okay, then is there anything else that you would like to say?
Yo, this was a fun chat. I wish we remembered what we said, because it's going to look really awkward on the thing, but that's okay. Nah, actually, this was fun. And I think that if you guys are, your audience likes it, I'd love to come back. And as well, my blog, it's called Permission to be Powerful. And the URL is my name. So it's antonvolney.com. So on Permission to be Powerful, basically, it's a combination of a bunch of things all come together. I take all of my knowledge that I've gained over the past 15 years as a freelance copywriter. I had to become a much different person to actually work, to get to the point where I worked at such an elite level. And most of it was really about my self-esteem and my inner confidence. Now, when I'm at the end of my journey, I'm ready to basically, I have so much to give, I realize. And so that's what Permission to be Powerful is all about. And it's the cornerstone of where everything I'm going to be doing in the future.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us, Anton.
Yes. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.